That made me enough clearance to get that mechanism in there. And I think I've got that pin pretty much located back there in the bottom. I'm going to give this a little thump. To mark that spot. What that did, that little cone right there, put me a nice little print. I'm looking down this drill bit at this line. I'm looking down the top of it at this line. And if you start well, you tend to end well. Alright, I have got this hole bored in the in the back for this bolt to come into the back of this receiver. And I pulled it down on there, I tightened it up, and I made an outline of the footprint of the outside edge of this receiver. Okay, part of this goes up into this receiver. There's a gap. You see this gap inside there? Part of that goes up in there, about 1/8 of an inch. And so what I'm going to do is take the mark that I made on the outline, the footprint, and I'm going to deduct, go inside that thing about the thickness of this metal, which is about less than 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to make a mark I'm just going to parallel inside that. Actually on the top and bottom it's more than 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to, this is a swag. This is just a swag mark is all it is right now. Because I'm going to sneak up on it. I'm not going to cut it all out at one time. You understand swag? Swag is a scientific term. It's an engineering term actually. You can Google it. SWAG. And that's a swag line. That removed enough wood to get me in the ballpark. Now I can see my pencil line clearly, and I can just slick this up, and then I'll press that action back on here with my bolt, and it will leave imprints of where it's touching too hard. And I can clean it up more after that. I'm putting ever so slightly a little bevel on this part that goes in there to make it kind of draw it in tight. One of my subscribers named Larry asked me if I'd do a section on sharpening tools. This one's about to need that. So that may be sooner rather than later. One thing I have to be sure of is when I pull this in, that I'm in the right place this way and this way, because if that thing gives me a print in the wrong place, then this ends up in the wrong place for sure. I think pretty close right there. I'm going to mark the inside of this where I had my marks up here before and I cut them all off, so I have nothing to reference to. But if I mark the inside of this with a tight pencil, I can come back to that. It's a pretty good fit when a screwdriver will hold a bolt. Makes it easier to put it in there. Can you see that little bitty round depression? That's what I'm trying to go for. And this other one down here, see that little rounding little raised area? That's the print that I'm looking for. You can see another one right here. See how that's just mashed down just a little bit? That's the print I'm looking for. This is not unlike the dentist when he tells you to bite down on the blue paper and it makes a little mark where one tooth is hitting the next. Well, I can't make this piece of wood bite down, so I have to put a bolt in the back of it and hit it with a mallet. You'd probably rather your dentist just let you bite down. There's a caulking mechanism that's making a dent right in here. It's got to be relieved. I've got about a 1/16 of an inch, probably a light 1/16 right here on top. And I've got a little tiny bit less than that on the bottom. But where it's hitting is in the back of this top and bottom tang. I got a light 1/16 I got to take out. I got more gap on the right side than I do on the left. So I've got to just barely shave this on the left, and then I've got to take out a little bit more on the bottom than the top. This is called fine tuning. You want that thing to hit all at the same time. Everything hits exactly at the same time and the same amount of pressure.